Okay, let's start with yesterday's trades, current positions, the watch list for today, and some of the notable breakouts and breakdowns yesterday. So CLF did exactly what OCLR did to me. Just looked great, and then suddenly just a big red candle on high volume out of nowhere. And I stopped out in the 1090s. Yeah, ended up giving back some profits, but not as much as on OCLR. Wix also pulled back a little bit today. I'm gonna use the 60-50 area as my stop on it. Netties had also a big down candle, stopped me out, and then it rebounded. Kind of annoying. I stopped out. As you know, I did add 2 days ago in the 299s, and I stopped out those ads, break even, and then I stopped out in the 291s on the rest, or 292s. Pretty much break even on there. So overall, it was a break even trade. GOL, I actually added in pre-market at $30. I added a few shares, covered some intraday on the wash. I'm thinking about adding a little bit today also, because I think if the market gets its selling on, this thing could go back to sub 25. INSY, I did some on the green to red. And yeah, just worked out well. Worked out really well, held some overnight. CTRL out. You know, I've been complaining about my stocks, my long trades, my earnings trades going down and stopping me out. CTRL did the exact opposite. Just, I mean, what the hell? Just the opposite of the other ones. So I'm pretty happy about this one. Probably gonna use this 1460 area as my stop now, or 1450 area. I have to think about it. AMD still have it. Like it was, I mean, Nvidia was really weak yesterday, and AMD was just extremely strong. I don't know. Obviously, this 1450 is gonna be my stop, but I mean, I'm thinking if this thing can go sideways for a few days, I'm not only gonna get stopped out this 1450 breaks, I'm gonna go long, because this thing looks like it wants to go to 16. I mean, it just had a slight dip and just got almost stopped me out, and just so strong, so strong. MNTR actually didn't hold it overnight. I closed my last 1,000 shares. Was a nice one, a really nice one. ESPR, just another one, just really annoying. Everything went down, almost everything, and this one just straight up. And I got stopped out break even in the low 25s. So I had like a $3,000 trade going on this one and stopped out break even. So that was a little bit annoying. CMBX, I'm holding small 5,000 shares, a third of my position overnight. I think it can go to high mid 2s today. But I'm gonna use a tight stop on these shares, maybe 360, 370. I'm done with this trade. It ended up being a profitable trade, but didn't really trade it well. ICHR holding up fairly well. URA I finally covered. What a nice trade, just so beautiful. Nothing more to add. I've been talking about this one so much. Labo finally stopped me out. VRX, I tried to short it green to red, but it dipped a little bit. So I shorted it here, dipped a little bit, then it grinded back. I stopped out. UCTT earnings trade at great earnings. Now I should have traded it smaller size, because a lot of these numbers were already pre-announced on this day here. This was really the entry. Like, I'm looking back on some of these things, and I was really asleep at the wheel back in January when some of these things pre-announced. Same thing on AAOI. Now they're gapping up on really big numbers, and they pre-announced it. I don't know. I mean, I was thinking about buying it. For some reason, I didn't. I don't know why. just a 5-star trade. And same thing with UCTT. They pre-announced some very big guidance, and I didn't buy it. I saw it, I just didn't buy it. I don't know what the hell I was thinking. So UCTT, you know, kind of a chase. So, but you know, sometimes these things can still keep going even though they pre-announced most of it, but we'll see. Hopefully it sets up in a few weeks from now. CLVS, I don't even remember this one. Oh yeah, so I only got half size on it. As you remember, I was shorted on this day here, but I was a little bit too early. Now it finally broke down. I think the 50-day test is the next target. I'm probably gonna cover here around this area. Deep low, I tried some long, I didn't hold it overnight. Closed a little bit too weak for my taste, and the market is getting a little bit sketchy under the surface, even though indices are holding up. So as I said in my last video, I'm gonna be a bit cautious on long trades, and that this is me being cautious. You know, if the market had been better, I would probably have held it overnight, but I just didn't want to take the risk. OWCP, tried to short it intraday on this pop here. You know, I only got filled on a third of my shares, and then I just got stopped up pretty much break even, didn't cover enough into weakness. So it was a tiny trade there. IMGN, I am holding it long. It had some nice volume, like 2 really tight days. Nice flag, higher lows, broke out higher than or above average volume, closed pretty well. Can keep going, but again, market is a bit not necessarily ideal for breakouts right now. Now GNC, this one is interesting. It's very beaten down. The old management, they did some stupid things a couple of years ago. They borrowed money to buy back their own shares instead of like doing like what Amazon does, investing their cash flow into the business. And now there's new management in this one, and these guys are really betting on their own stock. They bought both the CEO and one of the directors. They bought multi-million-dollar positions. The CEO bought a $5 million position, and it's just coming off the lows. It looks good. I think the next target is the 50-day moving average here, if it can keep going. My average is somewhere in the low 870s, I think. So I'm gonna maybe use like a 10-15 cent stop on it. Either it goes or it doesn't. And I actually had a bunch more shares intraday, but I just closed them break even because the market, I felt, I don't really, the market feels a bit, shaky. Fitbit, just a random trade. I bought it and I sold it. Just, they had some shitty earnings, shitty guidance. But it is at the bottom. It was holding up, was green on the day. I thought it may put in a squeeze, but it never really did anything. So Kala, not doing anything. Pola, not doing anything. A Pixelworks didn't do anything either. So those are the trades and current positions. Let's look at the watch list. Now let's start with Tesla. Okay, I've been on this Tesla. I talked about it in my previous video. They had earnings, big run, pretty shitty earnings. CFO is leaving. I was talking about that green, opening range lows are green to red. Now it went green to red in pre-market, and I wasn't at my computer. And that mistake probably cost me at least 10,000, at least 10,000 bucks. Probably more, because I think this Tesla is gonna keep going down. I think the TAR could go to this 240 area. So I'm thinking if it has a green open, I'm gonna try to short it on opening range lows or green to red again. It was down 18 bucks intraday yesterday. I think it could go down another possibly 5-10 bucks today or in the next few days. And just if we can just find a tight setup. Good risk reward setup. EMES, another one. It just didn't go up enough. I really wanted those 25s, 26s, just like HIMX a few days ago. Was on my short watch. It didn't go up enough for me to be interested in it. And the CMES is the same thing. It's just big red candle. GRVY, it's just the same thing. It opened up slightly red and just straight down. I was really hoping for a green open, and that's that. GOL, again, I'm probably gonna add more today. SHOP, very extended stock. And if the market keeps, if the market pulls back, I think this thing could be down $5-10 over the next few days or weeks. All about finding a good low risk setup. They recently had some really good earnings. I'm gonna be interested in this 6180 area. You know, if I can find a setup where I can risk, say, $1 to make 5 to 10, you know, that would be nice. ERX, don't really know what. Yeah, I'm watching this one here. Let's see. SPWR. I think this thing could play out like HIMX and EMES. Slightly green open and then a crap back down, possibly. CTX, I hope this thing bounces back to high 4s or even maybe 5s. That would be nice. TEL was on Kramer, so this whole move was because the CEO was going to be on Kramer, and he was on Kramer, so I had some follow through. Had I known he was going to be on Kramer, I would probably have bought it a couple of days ago, but I didn't know that. I did see this breakout, but yeah. So hopefully it keeps going for a potential short. So the long watch list is pretty short today, shorter than it has been in a long time. Just looking for potential breakouts on all of these names. These are all names that are holding up very well and just flagging. Many of them have really good earnings. This one doesn't look that good. Just flagging in tight ranges. Now this one has a conference, March 3 to 6. They're going to present phase 2 data. I'm thinking if the market holds up, this thing could go on a run into the data. So the conference, I don't know which day they present, but this conference starts exactly 1 week from now. So there's possibly a week this trade to work. So I'm watching this thing. If it starts breaking out, I may buy it. It's a thin stock, so you can't really risk a lot of in this name anyway. So I'm thinking maybe a small trade on it. You know, who knows? Can go to 40 or something before the data. So this is another one holding up really well, but also very vulnerable to possible pullback if the biotechs keep going down. So those were the longs, nothing really exciting. So the wheat stocks, CMBX and MNTR. I think if they have big washouts, gap downs, washouts today, like I'm thinking this MNTR maybe low 2s and CMBX maybe mid 2s or something, mid low 2s. Okay, they could bounce nicely. So CMBX, the shares I have, I'm gonna try to cover them high mid 2s, and then I'm probably gonna start looking for a long setup for potential bounce. CSAN, you know, this thing is, they're basically waiting for an offering. It is coming with 90% probability. But I think intraday there could be a trade here, especially with like gaps down, washes out, sub 2. There could be a trade here. CLF, if it has a big down candle to the 50-day, I'm willing to see if there is maybe a good tight setup to buy it for potential bounce back. but not really super excited about this one. What I am excited about though is this one. Now, this thing hasn't tested the 100-day moving average in a year basically. And I think if there could be a big buying opportunity here around the 100-day. So what happens on these strongly trending stocks, these institutional grade stocks, is they bounce really nicely off the moving averages, the rising moving averages. So this is gonna be the first test of the 100-day. I'm gonna show you what happened on the first test of the 50-day. So it had a big run, run. Okay, it did test the 50-day here, but it had a big run. You know, the 10 and the 20-day acted as support areas, and the first test of the 50-day was here. Look at what happened. Just perfect rebound and just straight up. Went up 20% in just 3 weeks or so. Now I'm thinking if this tested 100-day, if we can find a setup where you can risk $1 or $1.50 or $2, this thing could very easily rebound $10-15 very easily. So this is something I'm really watching closely. Ideal scenario would be if it sells off the whole day and then tomorrow we get a weak open and then opening range highs or red to green. That would be like an ideal scenario. CNX again, same thing. I'm looking to buy if it gets to this 50-day. This one had a nice bounce of the 20-day. Could have a nice bounce if it takes out this 124 area, but I'm not super excited about it. Delt. If it gets volume, maybe there will be something here. So AMD again. I'm short, but it could be a potential long if it holds up well. But I'm thinking about adding possible to my short today. And then use a tight stop on it. Because if the market keeps selling up, this thing is going to pull back in. They're not going to be able to hold it up. Now this one was on my long watch list. News out after hours, they're going to be added to S&P 500. So it's gapping up. These things usually don't have much follow through, but I'm not gonna really look at it. INAP tight range candle. I'm thinking, heck, if it takes out this 245, 240 area, you can risk very little. You can risk like 10 cents. You know, if it can have another leg higher. I don't think so because all of these small cap, micro cap names that I have a run the past month or two, they're all pulling back. So they just the game is not working as well anymore. The micro cap game. SDRL, they have earnings in a few days. It's very tight. Look at how tight it is. The 20-day is pinched between the rising 10-day and the declining 20-day. Two tight range candles in a row. It's 208 area. You can risk like 4, 5, 6 cents. You can go to 250 before earnings on Monday. I think they're on Monday. Now UVXY, god damn it, I've been trying this thing like here, and now it finally worked, and I missed it. I was looking at it, I just didn't feel. I just felt like I'm just gonna lose money on it again, and now it's working. And this UVXY, I mean, this thing can go to 30 if the market keeps going down. So I don't know. Maybe I'll be looking for dips or something. I don't know. Opening range highs. If it goes, I wanna be there. So I'm gonna do smaller size and have a tight stop. This one is holding up fairly well. Probably no trade on it today. If it can bounce to 220s, 230s, I may be interested in a short. Square had some decent earnings. Just took out the like an IPO breakout. Looks really good. And you know, I think there may be I'm looking to buy it basically with a tight stop. And this one is both a long and a short for me. some great volume. Now these things haven't had much follow through lately, but it's a stock you can risk like 10 cents on to possibly make 50. So it's gonna be on watch. So let's look at the breakouts. So very thin, recent IPO biotech. This thing has history of going on runs. Here it went up 75%, 55 or 65 or something like that. 65 here. I mean, this thing can easily go to 30. I just didn't see it intraday. I maybe would have bought it. 1,000 small shares, risk $1 to make $5. Good risk reward. Very thin stock, has some decent earnings. Wait, did I look at... Wait, what's going... Oh, okay. So my watch list just rearranged itself. So GNC talked about LN, just a bottom breakout, had some nice volume. Rig had some earnings. EVA, very thin. Door had some earnings. Nothing exciting. Square I talked about. VAC had some earnings. This one was strong. Other earnings. It was just some random breakout. This one looked really good. I saw it here in the like mid 25s. I was thinking about it, but I just passed on it. It's a spin-off or something. It looks really good. This one I tried to trade. Tesla looks like it's gapping down a little bit, which sucks. I really want the green open on it. This one had bought some assets, really big volume, and could keep going. So that's it. Very slim pickings on the long side.